So, hey,
why not?
balkanizing R6 Esports.
Speaking of where we'll play, let's see where we'll play. Not Banker Villa, though. So, what will it come down to? Still got things like Clubhouse to potentially see again.
I mean, Penta did so much work against Empire on Kafe Dostoyevsky.
Kafe is also Navi's map. We were talking earlier about like trying to get a ban against them, to get auto ban against them, and it's still left on the board here so far. Consulate and Coastline go, and then Border.
Away.
So, could it be?
Oh, it is.
All right, well then I guess G2 didn't have to do that, right? Because it's going to be auto banned either way. But that means
random.
Oh, that makes it difficult then, because both teams have to kind of prepare for multiple map options.
He who controls the map bans has to be sure that they don't double up to control the spice.
Interesting thing, though, is both teams have records where they're consistent on the map. Navi, 3-7-4s, Penta, 2-6-6s. So it's like they both are consistent, whether that be good or bad, on this map, but then Navi have that curveball now. So their advantage may be lost. You guys obviously think Navi can win this. I don't know if everyone voting for that knew about the situation or not, but obviously the information is around in terms of like his ban on his account. So definitely there are people that knew that.
Here's the, that's the information for everyone that's watching out there. So remember, you're seeing Pi. It's not an alt account or anything. It is an actual player. It's not Doki. He's not playing here. He's off, banned for at least today. We will see more about that later. Please make sure that you keep up with the socials at ESL Rainbow Six and R6 Esports Twitter accounts, where more info will be divulged on them as our weekend progresses and we head to our next EU Playday. Thermite and Capitao, the two operator removed. Pretty standard so far. The Thermite ban is pretty big. We've seen how G2 were able to really exploit the Thermite and the Habana combination on this map earlier against Sisu. It was very pretty to look at. Sisu were not able to do that themselves, so they never even ran the double hard breach, which is
odd choice.
But Maestro is going to be removed from play, so we're not going to see hatch contests in the same way as we usually do. With that, Alda and Mira will be the last operator banned. So Clash is in play.
Definitely will see Echo, at least from one team.
Clash Echo, I think Penta will have a field day right now.
Definitely possible, yeah, if they play.
And they're starting defense. All advantage is there. If they play bar right now, I can see an Echo Clash. They're going to 6-pick into a Clash.
Let's see what it ends up being here. And 6-pick time. If anyone wants to use it. Gridlock didn't necessarily work out too great last time, but this is one of the maps I think Gridlock does excel on to an extent. And no, this is instead over to the Valkyrie.
Why you do this to me?
Citizen also going to be sneaking over to the Nook. So that should be interesting. Pi just going to be playing the Thatcher role, so we can play a little bit back, try and help the hard breach. Not a bad idea. Let's see how this first round goes. Bar, of course, was very difficult to attack in the match we saw earlier. It tended to be the struggle for a lot of teams. Maybe the knock will be what they need. But it's hard to say because it's far from a guaranteed success. Yeah, we saw Slash have some mixed success with it on Bank. But overall, there just hasn't been a lot of really standout knock play that just makes you go, oh, okay, I see what that operator is really good for. I believe we did see it on Kafe as well. I can't remember if it was EU or NA or what, but I feel like we saw it as well there. Just can't recall the actual match for that. So we are going to have two sneaky operators really that can't be seen on drones or cams, which of course is the Vigil and the Nook. So it could be a battle of the stealth roamers. Would be very interesting to see if those two encounter each other, Citizen and Blaz. Enemy, of course, will have his yokais to try and help Blaz, but those won't see Citizen. Same with, of course, the Black Eyes. And with no Legion in play, that's Nook's best friend. And that's one of the things you could think about when you're potentially considering a 6th pick to Nook. A lot of people don't 6th pick off of Legion or to Legion as much. Like a lot of other operators. I mean, you can, but it's just like you don't really need to surprise with them that often. More like Mozzie or something like that. So you can go like, oh, hey, no goo mines. I could potentially play this Nook better.
It's very correct. But the big deal is here, there's Echo, there's Valkyrie, but there's the Nook.
Yeah, and if there was Maestro too, it also wouldn't, do anything for you. I mean, the more cameras they have, the more Nook is actually a useful operator.
Should you use your utility correctly?
Yeah, if you don't mistime it.
It should do a lot of, at least that's what you expect theory-wise.
And I like how you have the Nook player drone a lot at the beginning, so they don't expose themselves. Drone for the other entry fraggers who will, especially players like Gridlock who will lock down red stairs here. Which is good, because usually it's about claymores and stuff like that. Those get kind of predictable. You throw in instead some of the Gridlock tracks, and that could work in your favor. I love seeing these new shields get used. I'm afraid at some point, though, I'm going to start to hate it just because they're going to get so good. But Pi, starting off his Pro League career with the opening kill. That's the way to do it. Took a little bit of damage, but taking down the stealth operator on the defense side, Blaz, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, and now you don't have to worry about the Vigil rotating into you later in the round. Janix looking the wrong way, and that's the problem with the shield. A lot of times when you see shield play in this position, you'll see a castle as well in support to kind of hold it in from behind. And unfortunately, not the case here. Nitrocell being prepped from Revon, but there's nobody in Piano for him to hit so far. Kind of getting closer and closer to the hallway, and thrown out one too much. Enemy is barely alive. He's clinging on to life. Citizen from behind, and he gets the kill. There's nobody watching for him, but now they'll know where he's at. Enemy will get one kill as they'll go for the last two kills, I guess. Okay, I was expecting it to kind of end in a more climactic way, but
yeah, guess not.
Guess not. They both peek up against Na'Vi, who find the last two kills, then Penta lose it out. The Nook did a bit of work, going off on the flank and droning quite a bit. So again, a lot of times when we have new operators like this, we don't always get to see how they're impacting the game.
Well, yeah, because we can only spectate so many people, and we can only see so many things in that regard, but it's not too bad. I mean, I definitely didn't expect to see Nook this much in Pro League. It's actually been working okay. Same with Warden. It was good to see there's some uses. I mean, obviously, 6th pick is a big impact in that. Obviously, we could have as well the not operator reveal, and Nook would still be good then in that sense because there would be no operators revealed at all. But what a good bar attack overall. I mean, compared to the ones we saw earlier where everyone struggled on it, Penta just didn't, their aggression wasn't working out, but also good pinches from lots of different directions that just did not seem like Na'Vi were really prepared for. They weren't really holding off enough angles. They were focused on, let's say, oh, I'll hold this cigar with this deployable shield. Doesn't expect anyone just walking up behind him. Things like that where they're just playing into the positions that Penta were trying to hold. They have to play a little bit smarter. They do have a pulse this time, though, to try and help with that, to try and call things out from below. Be able to even potentially play some C4 to help defend Christmas. They've got deployable shields. So they're going to try and change things up a little bit, but there's no Nook this time. Citizen going to be on the Ash instead. Pi still holding down that Thatcher that he did get that opening kill with. So, again, kudos to him on that very first debut round. And that's the way you want to start your career here when it's a dire situation for Na'Vi having to try and fill in last minute like that. I mean, they had a few days to figure it out, but still.
I guess a couple. The official decision came out internally, like,
yeah, I'm sure his account got banned. He was like, oh, we need to start looking for options.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some kind of official decision and statement on that at some point. Meantime, they're looking to try and do anything they can up here. That's a little bit late to putting up that shield. I mean, I guess you could hold it in your hands and hope they don't, hit you in the face, but they are... well, they're going to actually leave that wall soft. They left the red wall soft. Okay. That's a freebie right there. They don't have to come down with the... You ban a thermite, and then you leave a wall soft like that. Confusing.
Very confusing.
Just because it's like they're probably not going to hub on it, so you actually gave them... You forced a choke point if you just reinforce it. Either way, though, maybe they weren't expecting the Ash. Well, I don't think it was even a 6th pick, though. I don't know. We'll see. And this wall being soft as well...
is okay.
Well, Penta do play a lot of softballs on their defenses.
Where do they have the rest of the reinforcements? That's what I'm really curious about right now.
I hope they're not holding some in their pockets.
Are they putting anything downstairs? That would be insanity. Oh, Nello will be pushed back as well as Kendrew. And they're going to check. So far, we haven't been able to spot any of those extra reinforcements. Blast sprays right into where somebody would be coming in. And, okay, finally he runs out of ammo. Citizen will find the kill on Revon as he crosses out. That was a great shot there, eliminating the Pulse, Nitro Cell, and of course the huge utility taken out of play. But this is wasting so much time off of Na'Vi.
Well, gonna have to push in here sooner or later, and he's got a huge crossfire on him. Citizen, 2 flashbangs in his pocket that probably could use them, but saves with the flank. He gets traded, but totally worth it.
He finds 2, and Citizen's trying to hit the back, but no. They push right into the Thatcher. Blast gets 1 more kill. The Ash is going to get picked up, but it's perfect for Blast. He gets to 3K, but it turns to 1v1. Enemies last in. There has to be a tag here from Na'Vi. There's 30 seconds left, and are there any yokais? Yes, there are.
Tricky, though. You have to time it smart. You have to know when to be on that drone and when to be off of it and watch your flank. So he's going to be toggling between those two quite a bit, but Nello also taking advantage of what time he has left the drone.
He's got to go for it, and everything is exposed. The Echo can go for the gunfight as well. There's a little time, so it's time for it here. He should be able to double peek this. He goes in for the first yokai, expecting the Echo to get up close and fight.
5 seconds left.
3 seconds left. Nello will maneuver around. Should he go Planet A? No, it's going to be done. Penta will win the round off of time. No information on the Echo, and very well played there. Blast just did also so much work in the round.
I mean, both teams had a good flurry of kills from like one particular player. Saves with a good 2K and Blast with one as well, and it just turned out into that 1v1 because of that, because they were trading at such extremes. I mean, good play from Na'Vi again, playing some good distractions. The Ash, for example, distracting while Saves comes around. Stuff like that was fantastic, but at the end of the day, just not able to get the plant down. The Gridlock playing back kind of passive, not able to really help with the kills and trade it back. That flank when trying to pick up the Ash definitely did not help. Obviously, the Ash getting down leads to that. So Citizen taking too much damage, really just trying to fight his angle. We'll see how reading goes, though. Interesting they go there instead of down to Kitchen next. We'll see how this works out for them, though. But similar attack here coming out from Na'Vi. Mute and Mozzie, though, on Penta. Should help things out in terms of droning a little bit. Obviously, they have the IQ to be able to spot that as well, but only so much you can do about that with Thatcher. Going to have to try and communicate well to the Thatcher player to be able to try and take those out, if need be, to try and get some drones through without overexposing yourself. Because obviously, peeking around a corner to shoot a pest, if it was a corner you couldn't drone because of the pest, it's risky. It's a risky thing to do. You need to drone from different angles and stuff like that.
10 seconds remaining.
Whereas clearing with the EMP if you don't need the EMPs for anything, because like, there's nothing, I mean, unless they like reinforce and or bandit tricking something you had to worry about, there's not a ton you have to worry about to Thatcher. Let's say you do want to open reading wall with the Habana. Okay, maybe you want to clear off some mutes off of that, but other than that, you have some EMPs to play with.
Back to the point that you were mentioning was the Thermite is banned and there's no reinforcements on the piano.
No, but thankfully you can play this as a top-down attack kind of thing. So it's not a big deal. You just need to take the heaven side and be able to play some angles down into reading. Or, you know, there's actually sometimes the rare dining push. You just open up Havana from the white stairs into dining, open up some angles, and then either push in from there or push in from the train side. There's some ways to play that side as well. It doesn't always have to be about reading. We just see a lot of teams trying to take advantage of planting reading because of the way you can hold the doors. So, see, they are using at least one EMP to clear for a potential drop because there is goo mines. And speaking of which, the Legion and the Jaeger are both taking damage. Pai as well. It's interesting how much damage has been taken already in the first minute, given the fact that no one's been able to finish any of those kills.
Just pushing back your opponents for as much as possible. You're trying to waste time.
Just tickle fight.
I mean, it has wasted a decent chunk of time. Remember, this is a defense downstairs, close to, well, this is reading and dining. So, fair enough. If you can clear out pretty much half the round now with just a bit of HP traded, it's okay, I guess. X-Kairos as well are going to come up as they won't be super necessary for the final push. And you should be able to push the one player back, maybe off of the drop down here. No. Citizen is droning about, but there's no one left. There's still one player, though, on top of white stairs, and it's an easy spot to hold on to. It's Janix. And he's done so much work. Remember, Janix on here versus Empire, on specifically this sort of defense, he absolutely obliterated the Russian squad.
Well, they've got the top floor control they need to make a push out of this now, but the fact that they haven't picked off anyone and there's less than a minute left here, that's what starts to get problematic, because if Penta doesn't give over the angles to the players and they're able to hold down the fort here pretty well, this will come down to rush, because you always have to rotate down to actually get the plant going. And when you leave people upstairs watching down, that leaves possibility for a retake. They do at least have the gridlock to help with that, though. So I do think this could go Navi's way if they can actually execute on some of these players here. Dining does look free, though. And unfortunately, Saves isn't the one with the diffuser. That's Kendrew.
You need to just have info on it constantly. And oh, Ravon right into the welcoming arms of Saves. The smoke's going to be thrown out, and Pi will find Hungry. But Janix with a great refrag. Firing in the back here, Saves, making sure that no contestation can be had in White Stairs, and Citizen clamps up on top of it. Enemy gets one, and on the run, and Blast gets one kill. Saves is here for the elimination last as Nello and Navi secure the round, descending upon Penta. It's great that not only was the IQ droning for himself, but also when he decided to push, there was someone else droning for him, which is always great.
Well, definitely good for Navi. We were talking about them being at a bit of disadvantage because of their, having to change out a player, but it seems like other players are stepping up, especially Saves. I gotta say, he's doing very good work for the team in lieu of having Doki. He's been stepping up. I'm not sure if he's taking Doki's role or not. I'm trying to remember what Doki usually plays, but he might be taking his role, and then maybe that's helping a little bit here. Pi is, he's doing what he can to work with the team here. I always wish we could hear the comms so we could have some idea how things are actually going internally with the team. Maybe someday, though. But I can understand why teams wouldn't want comms public. One thing for revealing strats, but another thing, but I got to imagine sometimes they don't want the way they talk to field, because it's not always the most PR-friendly orgs.
No.
So I can understand that.
I
just want to listen to it personally. I don't need it to be revealed to the public.
I've watched the streams, the personal streams. Sometimes it's very hard and very hot. And we can tell that because sometimes rank gets really sweaty, right? So I assume it's very similar in here. So here we are.
5 seconds remaining.
Yet another round with Penta on the defense. Still have not rocked up the clash, which is very odd looking at how Penta usually play this. All the way downstairs in the double kitchen. It's a pretty big kitchen. Make quite a bit of food in there for a tea room.
That's your first thought.
Yeah, I'm cooking tomorrow. I'm making Japanese food tomorrow as well. Like a nice stir fry, veggies. You gotta prepare for Japan. I have some tonkatsu sauce for the vegetables, which is always great. I like cooking. It's a nice expression of the self. Also, food is great. So, Saves along the outside with the IQ, just repelling off on the north windows. And he's trying to watch. Are there any yokai drones that it can snipe off early on? That would be great.
Yeah, definitely helps a lot. I mean, at the very least, identifying where they're at. You don't necessarily need the kills on them, but if they're in positions where, oh, it looks like there is one right there. Might have rotated, but if there's ones where the Thatcher can take at least like disable them early, and looks like this one, yeah, that's, oh, why would you do that? You know there's an IQ in play. That was a big misplay by enemy. Just giving that away. Should have been rotated at least into Christmas, if not Cigar. Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. Citizen already taking some good map control here, though. Try and push. They need this control of mining, and they've got it. That's where you need to be setting stuff up for the attack downwards. Blast not having a lot of success on this Vigil.
Yeah. Citizen with more opening kills on the board, as he is actually the master of opening kills so far in the EU.
Oh, certainly is, and he's just continuing to rack those up.
Citizen of the Ash Nation.
Bomb located by attackers.
Opening things up here, Nello, making sure there's nobody rotating down from the White Stairs into Garage, and Pi is watching. Nobody coming up the brown stairs so far, and Citizen is going to be the one looking. All of his grenades have been used up from the grenade launcher, of course. And this is, I guess, the disadvantage of not having the buck, but breaching charges are still up for saves, but unfortunately the setup is being prepared. The yokai is spotted. Great play here from Saves to be on his EDD at the right time, and Kendrew's watching.
I think the EMP might have disabled it as well, too, if that's where they used it.
That is a good point.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's definitely going to help things out a bit.
Smoke spotted. And Saves will move in. He's checking for rotations. Oh, beautiful headshot. Saves on a hungry. Enemy will though.
Oh, that's
Down,
the
Kendrick.
down.
It's down. It's exposed. Citizen will have to drop. He gets the
What?
headshot on enemy. Great refrag here, and the Ash IQ combo is just doing work. Big rotation hole is opened right behind in the freezer. And we'll allow Penta to move back on site, but Janix is spotted. Citizen is collecting kills, and there's only Ravon alive. Doesn't have much left, but that Nitro Cell can prove deadly. He's being pushed from behind. Citizen's actually moved further back through the long bar, and Ravon will move in.
Looks like we might need a rehost after this round as well, but that's not going to do Revan any good right now.
Shot to bits in the freezer.
Well, I'm not, I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm not sure they need Doki, because between Saves and Citizen, they are just pounding on him. It's just, this is fantastic teamwork between them. As you said, the Ash IQ combo, you saw like, oh, IQ getting stalled out. You know what? Ash comes in the freezer and just, it's working out great for these
You put
guys.
pressure on one side and go put pressure on the other.
That's what they were doing in the top floor attacks as well. They would put pressure on one side and then attack from the flanks. And that's, I mean, that's the way to do it. That's what we saw some of that work from G2 on Kafe earlier as well. That is working out very well for them. And it seems like Penta just aren't coordinating enough to do anything against that and not catching some of these individual players on those flanks. I think they maybe need to expect these flanks a little bit more, or they need to put themselves in positions where the flanks aren't as accessible. But these are 3-speed operators just kind of coming in too. There's only so much you can do to slow them down. Goo mines do help a little bit with that. But the Yokais aren't actually being effective. I gotta say, I feel like either someone else maybe needs to take up the Echo, or maybe they do need to go play something else because it's not really working out. The IQ
Right now-
is doing a good job stopping it.
Right now, what's happened is usually the Echo is great when you still have, you know, if it's a 4v2 and one of those two left on the defense is an Echo, you can maybe make something work, but that's too much of a manpower advantage for the attack for you to be super efficient. By that time in the round where you would be very efficient in the last 10 or so seconds, one of your Yokais 100% would have to be dead because you're bringing the IQ definitely to deal with that.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have that big of an impact.
I gotta wonder if that's hurting Blaz as well. Because he's playing the Vigil, and we saw, I believe it was the IQ of Saves did kill the Vigil, so I don't think we necessarily saw it, but I think that's actually working against his play as well.
Maybe you want to have, similar, I think in EU you really want to watch Giants for the way that they run the Echo, because Alfama will always have the Yokai drones that are close to his teammates, and everything's set up for it to work. It's not just, oh, we will use one drone maybe to deny, and then the other one maybe to give information, we're unsure, maybe overexposed. No. None of that is to be had when it comes to what Giants do, whereas here with Penta, their drones are being constantly sniped out, the IQ's doing work, and even when she can't hit the shot on the drone itself, there's somebody else, there's EMP, there's players on the top floor that will end up hitting it anyways. You're not going to be that effective. And sure, the round got close near the end, but at that point, the should Na'Vi have lost that round, it would have been a complete throw.
Yeah, well, now Penta have lost all 3 sites. Yes, they did win bar once, but they lost it once as well. So they've shown that they cannot successfully hold any site, consistently yet.
And remember,
so
the one time that they won it, how was it done?
Very, very close. That was on time. That was definitely down to just a 1v1 situation where...
If it weren't an Echo, he would have planted.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe on bar it works okay, but in kitchen it's definitely not working. It's just, I don't know. The Echo play is being countered very well. The IQ of Saves just doing work for his team, for sure, both on the gadget and on the kills and on those flanks. What they're doing is working. I don't think Na'Vi have to change too much here. They just have to make sure they keep it up and continue to play into it. And Penta are really the ones who have to adapt at this point.
Yeah, we're waiting for the rehost here to get our last 2 players from Penta Sports back on the server.
At least we got all the game data back in.
Yep.
As far as the rounds and stuff go.
Awaiting. Not sure if they're restarting. They're probably restarting their computers.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the rehost was for. A lot of times it's for sound issues. Ironically enough, that's also a lot of times the reason for issues for rehosts at LAN, and then it's like hardware at that point. It's just like
just throw a computer
sound
out.
is always the...
What usually happens when it's on LAN, you just take the computer, take the SSD out of it, get a new computer, and get the same SSD back in, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you can't really do that at home. I mean, if you can, you probably got some money.
No, we're hearing there's some FPS drops that are happening here, so crank them frame rates up. I'm not sure what's happening here, but we have everybody back in the lobby.
Yep, good start.
Apparently there was a
Hopefully everyone's okay.
Windows update.
Oh no, that'll do it to you.
As a programmer, he knows.
Yeah, because it's like it'll sit there and suck up a lot of your bandwidth too. Unfortunately, it just starts downloading it, and then it's gonna take up a lot of resources.
All right, so we're gonna head into game. We're just checking to make sure all is set correctly, and if Marcio messes up, we'll make sure to call him out.
So far, looking good. Get back in here.
Is it looking good?
Fingers
It
crossed.
looks like it. There
All right.
we go. Marcio, what a great job. Great observer.
It's like
great.
he's been doing this for a long time.
Shh.
What a professional.
Professionalny.
We're gonna try the echo again. This time up on bar again, which good reason. The only reason they didn't play it again earlier is because they couldn't, because they won it. Blaz going from one operator that could be spotted by IQ to another. So Save's gonna have fun hunting him down again. I gotta imagine probably not as much on a quote-unquote roam though, yes, he will probably be off-site, potentially to play from below, but you still can play a somewhat useful pulse from Freezer in some other areas where you can kind of stay a little more secure. So you can play him, say, for Freezer. You have someone playing below. He can call out people for the people in trying to retake Christmas, and then drop the hatch in Freezer if he wants to be able to rotate. Does he mean? Oh, no, wait. That's right. They took away the hatch in Freezer, didn't they?
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Devin.
Man, I liked that hatch too.
Well, it would have made. It definitely would have made reading more difficult to defend, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So there you go.
It's still difficult to defend though, because you still have people opening up the ceiling.
But that's why.
Yeah.
You waste as much time before going down, and you mostly have players in the hallway or in laundry. So here we go.
It's like they took the hatch from there and then put it on the roof
Yeah.
next to the other hatch.
Russian engineering.
That's how it works. Well, we'll see how this attack goes. It's been pretty by the book in terms of flanking for these attacks. So Penta have had some time with that rehost to rethink things, rediscuss what they can do to adjust. So hopefully that time worked out for them to figure things out, because pretty good start for Na'Vi considering they had to play with the sub. So, but that's good on the rest of the team, really, honestly, making up for that. That's a good reason. Gotta love the ability to really set up this roam control from either a Gridlock or a Nomad these days. So, two of the newer-ish operators doing good work these days.
Oh,
Janix doing good work as well. That is, well, good thing Gridlock got some tracks down, because that is a quick start there. I mean, he had been pretty much doing that kind of drop most rounds, so it was a little predictable. Janix did at least take some damage for it, but yeah, that's good adaptation right there, just reading into what they're doing pretty consistently and punishing them for it. Because a lot of times Nello had been left alive. You talked about, that one time that they won it was, Nello trying to clutch it. And he's not going to be in that position now.
Yeah, at least he used his tracks, right? So
That's nice of saves to make sure it's safer to drop that, by cleaning up the glass.
is that a red dot?
Whoa.
Is Foxay playing in
What is this?
now?
I can't watch this. We need to switch to watch someone else.
Good lord. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, God. So they're going to be able to spot a player downstairs that was on his cam for just a moment. I'm not sure if that was enemy playing in the back. He's back on the cams. And indeed, it looks like it.
All right. So that's good intel, but is anyone going to do anything with that?
Yeah, where's the yokais? That's the thing you need to spot. And the beautiful thing about this for the IQ is that you can spot the yokais that are on the floor just below you by still just playing on
The roof.
on the roof. So it's great, right? The Echo is going to be spotted now, and Kendra is trying to open up the entrance here for Saves, who already had a breaching charge on it, but... Okay. I guess. All of the X-Kires have been already used up, so that's why you're not seeing them used on the wall. Saves will dive in and find the kill. 2 as well for Citizen. And Kendra is in the perfect spot to plant. No Nitro can hurt him here. As Hungry comes up, he finds Saves. Kendra is boosted up, but it continues to plant. As this job is now done. Hungry playing the shield to his advantage. Find the headshot on Citizen. It's only one alive. Hungry with 2 bits of smoke to use. Shotgun in hand. 5 shotgun shells left. Definitely winnable, but no. Corner. Both angles to watch. It's Pi to find the last kill, and Na'Vi are definitely at the helm.
I think we're going to have to take whatever salary Doki was getting and split it between Citizen and Saves as a raise. So they are stepping it up. I mean, Citizen always does, but Saves as well. Really just stepping up in the place that to be 4-1 already. Looking pretty good. Penta just seeming lost here on these attacks, just getting pinched out. I mean, I like Janix's play at the beginning, but outside of that, they just seemed again to just get caught off guard. These 3-speed operators catching them time and time again. Citizen going to sneak one more time here for this reading attack. Try that. I mean, hey, didn't work too bad last time. Might as well give it a go again. He's been playing fine on the Ash, though. So you didn't necessarily need to change it, but might as well give it a shot if you think it can work. They are going to rely a lot on the cameras. You know, we talked about the Echo and whatnot. But in this case, they're not going to bring the Echo. And now there's the Legion. So this is where it becomes a little problematic for Citizen. He's going to have some idea where those good mines are.
I think the Echo should have been dumped ages ago.
But yeah, that's what I was saying during the rehouse. It's not working.
Well, live and let learn, I guess. Here we go. Maybe that'll be the fix. Who knows? Right now, Na'Vi are definitely at the helm with 4 rounds on the attack. They're looking pretty for their swap.
10 seconds left before insertion.
If they get a 5th one, that means they can play bar, lose any other set, and go back to bar, and that's it. It's donezo.
Yeah, obviously this is the last defense here for Penta. And, well, nothing's really worked very well. They won that 1 bar defense just out of time alone. So gunfights are not the forte here.
I wonder how long it took every player from Na'Vi to go to every gun and every operator and add the Na'Vi charm to it. I wish there was like a button in-game where...
Apply all.
Apply to all,
yeah.
And that's it, you know, because things like charm or skins, some of them are universal, right? So why not?
Save there for a future quality of life update. Oh, good spot there under the smoke.
The hatches are going to be opened up. Kendra will dive on in with the drone and check about. There's nobody contesting from cigars. Saw Pengu playing literally on top of the cigar hatch and fighting anybody that drops the hatch, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. Not really expecting anyone to be doing that. And the breaching charges are doing work. Destroy as much of the softballs as humanly possible. Pi will be moving in. Is there a drone to support him for this one? Janix at least waiting for him. Oh, the tap from Pi.
Pi again with the opening kill. This is looking pretty good for him. He didn't take any damage in return either against Jaeger. That is impressive. I mean, technically Jaeger has the advantage in a fight against Thatcher. Especially when he should know where they're coming from.
That AR-33 just is so underestimated. At that range, if
you're going to play more aggressive, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
In general, I really do prefer it. Unless you're trying to like really hit people at longer distances, AR-33 pretty darn good, even for sacrificing the 5 bullets. Hatch is going to be opened up here, and Hungry will drop down from the cocktail lounge, and Na'Vi will take control of it. There's nobody using nitros from below. I assume there's only 1 here for Ravon. Hungry's watching the hatch. He goes and pre-fires and finds the headshot on Pi. The refrag they were looking for. But the Thatcher has already done his work. Blast, all hopes on him right now, if you ask me. He's the one that can really do the flank damage.
Now this is time when Penta needs to not overexpose themselves. Just force them to take a lot of time hoping to catch you, watching angles. I don't think the Nook's going to do a ton at the moment, but this is what the problem is Nook's gun is not that great, so he's got to be sneaky to make up for it. Maybe he can just go roam hunting at this point.
Well, that's what it looks like he's going to do. At least nobody knows that he's in this position right now. Smokes are going to come out, and Kendra will stick it and die at the end. It doesn't matter. They used 2 smokes and a nitro cell to kill him, yet he was still able to put that diffuser down.
Yep.
Big plays right now from Na'Vi. In a 4v3, very doable in the post-plant position. Blast, though, finds 1 kill. Oh, the refrag as well. Enemy.
Listen, trade it.
He gets Nello. All up to Citizen. Ravon will just try to stick it. He's got to fight 1. They're unsure of where he is. He gets dropped. The Nook's on the floor. And Penta recover. They find 1 round at the end of the half. make it 4-2, still advantage for the UK squad of Na'Vi.
Well, yeah, like I said, still advantage. That was a little sloppy towards the end. I mean, they got the plant down, but just not great enough coverage of a lot of different angles. But also, Penta playing it from outside smartly, having a lot of people left alive. Like I was talking about, just don't give away the free kills. And a great retake. Unfortunately, Citizen's timing wasn't necessarily on point there in terms of, like I said, trying to trade his teammate quickly. Because I doubt he was going to be whipping around looking at that door immediately. But we'll see. Kitchen is the starting site, interestingly enough, for Na'Vi, despite the success of Bar we saw earlier, and the one site that Penta was even able to win. Kendra going to tease the Echo and then actually go to the Valkyrie. Both, again, going to be countered by IQ, because as we talk about, there's really 4 operators that are strongly countered by IQ. Maybe 5 if you count Mozzie. So there was, as we were talking about, there's the Pulse and the Vigil that both get spotted. Then there's the gadgets of the Valkyrie and the Echo. So IQ getting a lot of play these days, and rightly so, just given the utility of that. See if Revan can do half of what we saw from Na'Vi, from saves especially. But it's interesting to see that Revan's going to be on the IQ, because he'd been the Ashe player lately, and letting Blaz instead play on, I think it was the IQ, but he's going to be on the Jackal instead. Actually, maybe was it the... I think he was playing either IQ or he was playing the Zofia. I can't remember what, I don't know. But he was playing a different role than Ashe, and I feel like some of his crouch walk through the map Ashe entries were just so good. I'm surprised they took him off that, because I felt like that was one of their strengths before on attack.
Well, who knows? Maybe Penta going for just the roam hunt, at least with the Jackal. You need to do something against it, against Na'Vi. Especially since this is a defense downstairs in kitchen, you're going to have at least a couple players that are burning time from bar all the way down. So
even if they're not roaming upstairs, they might be roaming dining.
Exactly. So you got to be careful. And Claymore potentially for a walkout here from the lounge, but there's nobody down. And Ravon will go on the repel. Balas will use up and lose one of his drones. And Pi is still set up on the top of White Stairs. He's got support as well from Citizen on the Jaeger. And then Blast is scanning around. If you don't see that there's any footprints, you know that there was nobody here at any point in the round, so you don't really have to be too afraid of place.
Well, Blast's actually spending a lot of time face checking. There we go. I was going to see, you might as well pull it up so you can actually see footprints, because that's the thing, is you want to see, have people been in this area recently. There we go. Pi, again, with an opening kill. Citizen saying, hey, my job's the opening kills. Gets one as well on the Janix. And that is the Sledge and the Thatcher down early. That's a pretty good start utility-wise. It's going to make potentially enemy's job a lot harder. If he's going to try and open any walls, it's not going to happen easily now. So they're not going to be able to clear those batteries.
Kudos to Pi on her first Pro League appearance.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I think I actually heard he was on M&M before and did pretty well on that. So maybe I'm thinking that's where his experience comes from.
Right now he's looking for a team. I guess he's not really playing for a squad currently.
Yeah, well, maybe he is now.
Of course, the Welsh player, or I guess a mix of multiple nationalities, but Welsh currently. And Ravon will go down Brown Stairs as Blast is checking, and he hasn't spotted anything. There's one barricade to spot, and there you go.
Last second catches him and actually sees it. But Citizen's hoping he pushes him.
That's such a tight angle that's being held there. They all have to come down onto the Jaeger. There's no way out. He still gets one. He's so close to the second. Citizen is on half HP, and he goes for one more. A 3K for Citizen. Does he hear?
Oh, they know the pin.
He pre-fires and knows the wall is there. Enemy finally takes him out, but at what cost? The round is almost done. And there's reinforced walls, barricades, and the whole shebang in front of him. Enemy. There you go.
Mozzie drone even. Just baiting it. Just baiting it for Kendrew.
Penta Sports plucked apart on their first attacking round. Na'Vi secure one to make it 5-2.
This is looking pretty good for them to run away with this here, because defense, we should have a little bit of advantage. And then when you're playing as well as Na'Vi are, and is honestly as sloppy as Penta are.
There is an equip all button. Did I really never see that?
I thought there might have been, but I didn't want to say that because I couldn't be sure, off the top of my head. So I don't usually do that. I usually like to customize them per operator.
So apparently,
Righty.
it's in the display screen where you can move the gun around to look at the skin /. Really? It seems like I never really use cosmetics then. Huh. Odd. I mean, I don't have $250 to spend on these skins.
Why not?
I mean,
Defender, protect your bombs from being
do I
defused
really
by
want to
attackers.
have the sledge skin?
Yep. Unless G2 bans it against you. Well, why they are not going to bar, interestingly enough. They're going to go to reading second. They definitely could go to bar. Maybe they're going to close it out on bar. They win this, and it's like, hey, we'll save the best for last, but might just be also that, you know, teams are pretty good at attacking bar now in terms of at least knowing how to do it. But like I said, we saw some really good bar defenses earlier. I'm sure they were watching that, so it surprises me they'd save it for last. I mean, obviously they were able to at least take apart the bar defense from Penta twice, so it's definitely doable on attack, but
Attackers have
you
discovered
do
the
have to
location
defend
of a
bar
bomb.
anyways
Attackers
for reading,
protected
so it's, again, it's
the
just
bomb. Attackers dropped
personal
the
preference
diffuser.
by the team,
Attackers recovered
so we'll
the
see if it
bomb
works out for them, but they are 1 point away from at least getting the match point, guaranteeing themselves 1 point forward. Penta, maybe not having as good a run at trying to stay out of relegation spot as they would have hoped here, because I don't know, I'm not seeing the comeback. Whoa, that C4!
Ow!
That was actually pretty well timed, just slightly off. Nice try by Saves. Worth it to see how many C4s they probably have 2 more, assuming that nope, Kendra was on barbed wire, but Citizen does have a C4. He also has one of their drones as well, as we just saw. So Mozzie been having some success here, although it wasn't Citizen last time. He was on the Jaeger, but he's taking it up this time. And so far, Penta just fallen for these traps. I gotta imagine maybe they're droning just a little bit sloppy if they're losing drones this frequently to Mozzies. Maybe they're just trying to really clear quickly. Just getting caught off guard. Although, who knows? For all we know, maybe he's manually shooting them. You know, he could just be like catching them, just seeing the drone come past and tagging it. So you don't have to replace those pests to catch drones.
True.
The attackers
A lot of players will catch at least one drone like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna shoot it with a gun anyways, why not shoot it with the pest instead? Well, between Revan and Blaz here, they're trying to get some idea what they're up against. At least they've got control of train, but
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
I have a feeling this could come back to bite them if they're not able to at least hold this area. A lot of control from above, though, but Citizen holding a somewhat horizontal angle here, interestingly enough. So things slowing down for Penta. They at least have some droning going, but not really making a lot of progress now, just stalling out.
He's watching, and there's the sledge opening up the windows. To have
Recovered the diffuser.
this is so unusual. Having pressure from the window outside of dining is unusual. Citizen still finds Janix. Watching outside of A, and Blast is coming up. You really need to fight against Nello in this spot, but Pi has found another. Enemies taken off. Do you have anybody on the top floor, though, at this point in time? Because Hungry is the one on Repel. Ravon and Blast were out. Kendra gets one more on Ravon. This is close to perfect. 5 alive and 5 have taken no damage. And close to it, no! Hungry will win that out with the SMG-11, and Blast will find one more. He tries to fire into pillars, but he doesn't spot the Valkyrie. He saves, just moved away, unsure of her positioning. Hungry will come around the side, but he's got 2 players to contest with in this angle, and he actually goes up for just a moment. Sledges into A. Where's the diffuser? He's going to have to carry it. No time left. Na'Vi take round number 8, and they even slay the last 2 players from Penta Sports.
That was definitely looking possible from Penta, but they just didn't have the intel. I mean, it certainly didn't help Mozzie catching drones earlier. Just good denial overall by Na'Vi. Able to hold a lot of their positions. Yes, there was a little bit of a mistake there from the Mozzie on the white stairs, you know, pushing around the corner without necessarily knowing if there was anyone there and not ready to pre-fire it. So good on the sledge to take him out, but just not enough. 6-2. This is not the Penta we've been seeing, but this is the Na'Vi we've been seeing. Despite having to switch out a player, they're still playing very strong. It's only 1 player that's switching out. Still 4 very good players already there, and supposedly Pi, pretty good player as well. So far, this is definitely not what Penta were expecting, I imagine, given the last minute having to sub. Finally going bar for what could be their final round so they could celebrate with drinks at the end. This is definitely going to be a tough fight for Penta. We saw how well they could defend the bar even when it wasn't their
Defenders,
site.
protect your bombs from being
This is where it gets even trickier. Save's going to be on the dock, though. That's a little bit of a change-up. Jank's going to be bringing this Twitch here this time.
DFW are getting roasted for select all, or as it equipped all.
Yeah.
It's fine. I didn't know it. You can tell I haven't equipped anything for quite a while.
Aw.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, what was the last... I didn't even redeem the charm for Raleigh.
Oh
The last
my.
charm I added
Can we get
was
your account banned along with Doki's?
6 invitational. Man, that was a
Goodness.
while ago.
10 seconds to insertion.
Jeez.
Jeez Louise.
Shameful, huh? I could barely sit next to you right now.
Right now?
Attacker's
Okay.
objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Fair.
Fair.
That's an upgrade over the usual.
Yeah. Some of the question marks?
I think he was trying to capture a drone and jumped away.
Oh, probably.
Trying to like play skee ball with one another. So we're looking to a 7-2 victory here possible for Na'Vi as they're up at the bar again, as you mentioned. And Penta Sports will try to waste as little time as humanly possible for this assault. There's still the Jackal for Blast to deal with any roam play, and good to try and snipe out any utilities set by the walls. Mute jammers somewhere. Is there going to be the same setup as, I guess, usual now on red? Can we check red stairs for just a moment to see what's going there?
Make sure it's reinforced.
Okay, so the walls.
Okay, it's
the wall is
reinforced.
reinforced, which is one thing. So the Habana will have to use 2 X-Gyros maybe on here. Piano's being completely let go. So you have some support in there. Pi can run away, but he's the one that really has to challenge Skylight and stay in this very specific position and drop down. He also has support from Citizen and Saves. So all good. He can be healed back. That's not the issue. What Na'Vi are doing is wasting as much time as possible.
Well, it's certainly working. A minute 30 left here. Yes, they are getting rid of some gadgets, but then they lose the shock drone. They're slowly creeping in. Mark's coming out from the Jackal track, but they've got to push this now. Flashbangs aren't enough. All it does is offer a brief distraction. So they've got to pick up the diffuser and decide. Well, they're still trying to decide who's even going to take it at this point.
Hot potato.
Yeah. Not me, not me.
There you go. That's 2 X-Gyros that have been used up, as I said before, and 1 more will be used on the bathroom.
And no one's in there. That's just going to give you an angle into nothing at this point. That is... Yeah, and they're the ones who banned Thermite, so they should be using Habana responsibly here. Kendrew has taken some damage, but gets right back up to at least 75 HP.
Yeah, adrenaline's a hell of a drug, and now the dock is dead.
Well, at least the Habana X-Gyros did count for something there.
Yep, because you have the rotation hole from the toilet into the freezer.
Yep, gets
so
punished.
it ended up working in one way, but Na'Vi have a big time advantage, and they have the Mozzie downstairs.
He has a C4 left as well.
So that's really the big deal for Na'Vi. They're wasting time. Pi will
Oh,
find one, and
nicely
Citizen!
done.
Great headshot on Blast. Hungry and Blast, the last 2 in. They're the ones that have been doing so much work for Penta Sports, and they're out. It's Ravon and Janix. They're trying to continue on their march slowly to the site. Janix is on it, but the diffuser is far away, and it will be camped by the defense. Little time left here as Ravon and Janix will turn around. There's 3 left. They'll find 1 kill, but Nello with the refrag. Ravon is able to pick up the diffuser real quick. He'll find 1 kill, goes in for the plant. It's Nello alive. 2 seconds left. Ravon, he's going to stick it. It's time for you to go, Nello. There you go. He knows what's going on. And now the 1v1 versus the IQ. Nello has quite a bit of ammo in the shotgun left. Does he have any info on where the IQ is? Ravon is wasting as much time as possible. They go 1v1. Shotgun in the face. The IQ is somehow alive, but not for long. 3 shells is all it takes. Nello takes out Ravon, and that's the end of the round in the game. 7-3 victory for Na'Vi. Penta Sports fault.
Bomb diffuser disabled by defenders.
Wow.
Defender mission.
Nello there.
Roki was
clutches.
the problem.
Really? Yeah, I guess so. That is unfortunate for Penta, especially, who might have thought they had some advantage. But just goes to show. Team is definitely more than one person, and Citizen and Saves especially showing that. It was great to see Saves really stepping up. I mean, it's not to say Saves doesn't normally play well, but that was very impressive.
And this is after the rehost. Rehost was on round number 5, right?
Yeah, so these stats are not going to include.
So this is half of the game, basically. And the other half of it is not displayed in those statistics.